It's time for Around the Ozarks News, brought to you by the Springfield-Greene County Park Board, Blue Current, and Thompson Sales. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
And good morning to you. Thursday it is, and hope you're having a great week. First full week of 25 is underway, and man, they got some problems out west.
Yes, they do. The devastating wildfires. I mean, the video is unbelievable, continuing to rage in the Los Angeles area. I will tell you, at least last night, as we were going to bed, I saw the latest breaking news headline that at least 5 had been killed in the fires. So we'll see what happens this morning and throughout the day. But they are unprecedented in terms of destruction. The situation very chaotic as firefighters are attempting to get a handle on them. Residents are evacuating, not really knowing where they're going in some cases. Convoy of Hope, Springfield-based, of course, is responding with truckloads of water as well as food and hygiene items, which is much needed. The deliveries are coming actually from Convoy's Convoy Regional Distribution Center that is there in Sacramento, California.
Yeah,
So
yesterday.
not too far to travel.
Yeah, I was in the office yesterday with our disaster team as they were monitoring this, making lots of phone calls to partners out in the Los Angeles area. And it was a unique situation because it was so everything out there is so chaotic because the issue is people are evacuating on a moment's notice. Many of them with just the shirts on their back, they're abandoning cars on the street, getting out and running. Because the fires just jump from place to place, and they're not going to any specific place. So they're just scattering. They're driving to family members' houses, friends. There was no place early on for us to contact to be able to get the supplies to, because there was no shelter open. There was no congregating place where we could help with the groceries and the water distribution, because it was all happening in real time. So we talked with enough contacts that we started sending supplies to them, and they will get the supplies to the people. And then I think as we get farther into this, and today could change some things, I think the churches and the other organizations that we partner with on the ground will have a little bit of a better handle on how they're going to meet the needs of the people. But it is bad. It is really bad.
And windy, or at least
they were 100 mile an hour winds overnight, going into Wednesday.
Yeah. Springfield manufacturing plant Timken Belts on West Battlefield and Scenic is laying off 97 people. It's actually about 40% of the workforce there. Those getting let go did have about 2 months notice, or will have 2 months notice. Workers there make power transmission belts for different uses, some individual, some commercial. The company says the decision is being made in part due to long-term customer demand, or in this case, perhaps the lack thereof of demand. So Timken Belts is laying them off. They have been around for 70 years.
And you hate to hear that about it happening anywhere to anyone, but especially here at home.
Yes.
The Missouri State Department of Education and Secondary Education, known as DESE, DESE, has released what it's calling the Teacher Recruitment and Retention Playbook, because that's been an issue for them for a while. The aim, of course, is to hire and keep good teachers and figure out a strategy to do that. Administrators there say the teacher quality is the most important school-level variable in student achievement. Teacher quality. DESE has been working on this for 3 years. They say fixing the teacher shortage is now a national emergency. With challenges in mind, the state leaders gleaned from a former teacher of the year in the state, who said in Missouri, the administration must recognize that current teachers, acting teachers, are the best walking billboards for the profession. So they got to figure out a way to utilize current teachers to try to recruit more teachers.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like any professional is the walking billboard, the boots on the ground, whether it's police work or teacher work or even reporters. I mean, if you're the one like in the field, so to speak, you have typically a better and more impactful voice for the
course.
profession. Yeah.
Well,
So,
but
I mean,
that,
my teacher friends absolutely love their job. Like, it's changed a lot. It's hard, but they love it. But they're also old school at this point. No offense to my friends and myself, but we are old school. So
I was going to say the billboard can go either way. It can either be a positive or a negative, depending on that person's experience in the profession. And a lot of teachers have had a rough time lately. I know that to be true. So hope this works for DESE and the state. Springfield's mayor says we need a cleaner city, and he wants you to help do that by generally cutting down on how much we throw away and where we throw it away, of course. Mayor Ken McClure has a challenge saying we should do a better job at waste management and recycling, just as citizens of Springfield. He's asking businesses and individuals to sort recyclables better, pick up litter, and reduce single-use plastic waste, among other things. The Noble Hill landfill was expanded in 2019, and it was supposed to give us 100 more years of fill there. But now, this is amazing to me. So it might be down to 50 years only, or 75 years is what we're being told. I don't know how that's possible, but they say it's because of the amount of waste that goes there every week. So I guess it's picked up. I don't know. The mayor says he's leaving the instruction vague, because you can figure out on your own exactly what that means for you. Some business leaders and nonprofits may have good ideas on implementation, ways to do that. So
yeah,
that's interesting.
It's
the landfill.
I think it's interesting too, because there has been a shortage of workers, like in that profession. So there's been in some cases, like longer times in between picking up people's trash. And just generally yesterday, I was driving around the city of Springfield, and even before I saw Mayor McClure's declaration, there was so much trash. I said something out loud to the kids. Yeah, because it was, for whatever reason,
like litter.
Yes, litter. It was noticeable yesterday. But what had happened is, it wasn't like one individual's litter out the window per se, but rather trash bags of trash on Glenstone, multiple of them. And then of course they bust open. And I think that's hard, because like, I personally wanted to actually jump out and pick it up, but it's traffic and you recognize that it's not your job. So it's like, okay, I don't have like a high vis vest on. It's not my job. I'm just some random person jumping out of their car.
That's dangerous.
Right. But then whose job is it? And I know that we have workers, but I mean, during rush hours, it gets all run over, and then that breaks it into pieces, and then it just causes even a bigger mess. But
so do you think, I know you didn't see anybody, but you think people are deliberately dumping bags of garbage on streets and driving, or it's falling out of vehicles?
It had to have fallen out, but there were so many of them. I mean, there were 5 or 6 big bags of trash yesterday on Glenstone.
Yeah.
And then on the return route, they had been like driven over on accident, of course, but like open. So then it's going everywhere. I don't know. It's just interesting that he would say this, but yeah, I mean, it's also volume. He talked volume, the volume of trash, the volume of what people are throwing away is greater than it was. So,
well, we live in a world. I mean, the world my parents grew up in, and I can tell you this because I cleaned out their house.
Right.
They didn't get rid of anything. They recycled everything. My dad held on to everything, because you never know when that could be turned into something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We grew up, you more so than me, and certainly people after you, in a microwave world where everything, you keep appliances don't even last long. Washers and dryers don't even last very long anymore.
Yeah,
my parents had the same washer and dryer my entire childhood until I left for college. It was the same exact one.
Yeah.
So things are made differently now. So that I guess is adding to it.
Right. Well, it's something that we can all be more mindful of, for sure. And I think it's great that he's bringing some attention to it, because it does seem like an issue. Okay, college students, listen up. Ozarks Tech is expanding registration hours for the new semester. I don't really know if this is necessarily due to the weather or not, but they are kind of extending the hours. They will have locations available with enrollment specialists from 7:30 to 5:30 today, 7:30 to 4 tomorrow, and some weekend hours as well. You can check all of that online or order your materials online as well. All right, it is cold outside, and Rescue One, which is the organization that helps animals without a home, they are asking the public for some donations of specific things such as dog houses, kitty litter, and straw to make them warmer and more comfortable. So we have a lot of information on how you can drop off some donation items to them in Ozark. Just check it out at rescue1springfield.com. That is their web address, rescue1springfield.com.
Okay.
So,
today it's been drowned out a little bit because of the wildfires, which makes sense. But today is a national day of mourning for late former President Jimmy Carter. He died last week at the age of 100, making him the longest living president in United States history. So as a result of today being a national day of mourning, the post office is closed. You should know that. So no mail deliveries will be happening today. Also, the stock exchange. So your money's not going to change much, and the federal government offices are all closed today. So just heads up as you head out for the day. A big honor. Congratulations to Hammons Field. It's been recognized as the top stadium in minor league baseball yet again. This has happened several times. The Sports Field Management Association has named Hammons Field as the 2024 Professional Baseball Field of the Year, which is impressive. And you consider there are about 120 other possibilities in minor league baseball. That's a lot of ballparks in minor league baseball.
mm-hmm.
I guess there are different levels of minor league, but wow. Hammons Field was bought by the city of Springfield in 2023, $16 million, $4 million going to repairs, which they have already begun. And if you go to any Cardinals game out there, you've seen some of them. The lights, they have new lights that change colors and go on and off quickly. And they made a lot of changes out there to improve things out at Hammons Field. But it is a really, really nice ballpark.
Yes, it is. And it's working because, I mean, what an honor that is. Congratulations to them. Okay, Shepherd of the Hills in Branson is getting ready to unveil a new comedy show called the Branson Comedy Bash. I'd love to see it and see what we think. The inspiration comes from 60s and 70s era television variety shows. So there's some comedians and some skits, different sorts of things, all of which you would see in variety TV during that time era. The show will run from March 4th through October 31st at the Playhouse Theater on West 76 Country Boulevard. Tickets are available at the box office. You can give them a call or go online at theshepherdofthehills.com.
Okay, good for the Shepherd of the Hills. They haven't had a new show in a while. I mean, they got the classic.
Yeah, and they named in their communication with the press, they named the comedians. I don't know any of them. I mean, but they are apparently known in their genre. So I love that because they're some names, who they are expecting big things from.
You know what I've learned over the years is that people enjoy comedy.
Yep.
That's all I got. But it's I've just noticed it.
Yep. Well, you're such a nerd. Anywho, moving on.
It's true.
It's true, babe. You got it. You got a good point there. Okay, Girl Scout cookie season is upon us. And I don't know if this is good news or bad news for you, but s'mores and toastier cookies, which was like a French toast, I don't know, not knockoff, but you know what I mean? It was like flavored after that. Those are gone. They are no more. Well, actually, you can get them, I think, one last time, and then they're gone. They're being phased out. So cookies will be for sale soon and very soon. This year, they'll be anywhere between $4 and $7 a box. That's a national price. So I don't know what they'll be in Springfield, but somewhere between $4 and $7. You'll see them at stores, sold at booths, and then they will be starting their online sales on February 21st.
It's interesting. I would have thought that I've never had either of those two Girl Scout cookies.
Why would you when they have Thin Mints?
Right. They seem like fairly new flavors that they try out every now and then. And some work, some don't. I get it.
Yeah.
At some point, Thin Mints was a new flavor. But I'm surprised s'mores isn't more popular. It's because I think our kids would have liked the s'mores, right?
Right. Oh yeah, I'm sure. Or the French toast ones. I mean, come on. It's a cookie. But yes.
Well,
I'm still going for Thin Mints. Yeah.
It's not selling. It's all about the numbers.
Also, we want to let you know that we will be drawing the winners of the Chiefs divisional playoff game today, and we will keep you posted tomorrow morning. So tune in tomorrow morning for Around the Ozarks to figure out the winner who will get to go see the game. And we are super excited about it.
Yeah, it's going to be, whatever it is, it's going to be a great experience to be able to go to a playoff game like that, especially for free. Compliments of Ethan and Sarah.
Yes.
And
Around the Ozarks, the team, and the Eddie marketing.
Our
so really, there you go. Yeah.
All right. That's it, right?
That's it. Yeah. It's cold outside. Bundle up and watch Abby's forecast because, we were talking about snow Friday. Well, I heard yesterday that they're talking about it for today now. So.
Oh, seriously? I haven't checked.
Yeah.
Well, stick around for wake up weather.
I got to tell you, I swam laps yesterday with Ron Hurst. It's a true story.
Oh,
I sure
look
did.
at you.
I know. I did.
Oh, that's
so. Fantastic. What do we talk about? Snow. That's what we talked about.
First?
No. I mean, we both swim, and we know that we swim. I try not to talk to people when I'm in a swimsuit, to be honest with you. But it was Ron, so I was Ron, like, "That's Ron," and I was lapping him. He'll tell you I was. And I was like, that's Ron, and I'm winning right now. But I've been swimming a lot lately, so for good reason.
Ron's the best.
Anyway, I had to laugh at him a little bit, poke some fun, and he could whip me if he wanted to, actually. But there you go.
I don't know about that. I don't think he could. Yeah.
Well, it is cold outside, and it's possible today. So check it out. Meteorologist Abby Dyer is up next.
Have a great day, and we'll see you back here on tomorrow, Friday.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Command Family Medicine and John's Heating and Air. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to your Thursday. Believe it or not, there is snow on the way again this evening for most of us in the Ozarks. This is going to continue through the late hours tonight, overnight, and not end until about midday tomorrow. Yes, more road impacts are likely. It's just been a wintry week here in the Ozarks, and today is no exception. Before the winter weather gets here, though, I think temperatures will actually get above the freezing point today. So that's progress. And I know the road conditions are improving in many areas that we're holding on to a lot of those slick spots, particularly in our northern counties. Well, now we're going to put a little more snow on top of that. The difference with this system is that the higher impacts are actually still expected to fall in the southern Ozarks. So northern Arkansas, places that are under a winter storm warning, and then the rest of the Ozarks under a winter weather advisory with a couple inches of snow that look possible. Temperatures above freezing, but during the snowfall event, I think we are below freezing. And the precip type, unlike last time, this time I think all of this falls as snow showers. We're on the north side of this low pressure system, so pretty good shot for us to see some snowfall out of this. But the main event, or the heaviest snowfall, is actually stretching all the way from portions of Texas back up through Oklahoma, down through portions of northern Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, into northern Georgia. So places that don't often see accumulating snowfall are going to get a little taste of winter as we wrap up the work week and head into the weekend as well. I think in the Ozarks, precip type here is all snowfall for us, and it likely begins this evening in our western counties. We could see some snow showers flying around the sunset time frame, but I think it's more likely as we get closer to 10 p.m. tonight for the Springfield metro area. Those snow showers will remain on the radar as we head through the overnight hours, and it'll still be snowing when you wake up on Friday morning. There's not a whole lot of snow in the forecast for the Springfield area. I'm thinking anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of snowfall, higher totals where you may get up to 4 or 5, even 6 in the higher elevations of the Boston Mountains. That happens in extreme southern Missouri and northern Arkansas. Northern counties, maybe a dusting to an inch, close to 2 inches up around Lake of the Ozarks region. It's not going to be a major snowstorm, but it will be enough to cause some road impacts on Friday morning. So make sure you check the school closings list tomorrow morning, because I do expect that we'll have some slick areas, especially on places that are still not clear from the snowfall round that we had come through just earlier this week. I do expect more impacts, though, in the southern Ozarks. So that's kind of a change from the forecast last time. Best opportunity to see that snowfall accumulate is going to be along and south of Highway 60. I do expect that we'll hold on to some of these winter headlines and advisories through midday on Friday, and temperatures start to regulate a little bit as we head closer to the weekend. We have generally dry conditions starting in the Ozarks on Saturday, and that will likely last through about Tuesday of next week, and temperatures during this time frame look near normal as well. High temp today in Springfield, 38 degrees. Tonight, we're back into the teens. That's during the snowfall event, and we'll struggle to make it above freezing in a lot of locations tomorrow. By the weekend, I think we're back to the low 40s for highs, both Saturday and Sunday. And hopefully a couple of dry days with some sunshine will do us some good in the melting department. Around the country, what's making headlines? Well, it's the big winter storm that's impacting not just us, but much of the Southern Plains and the lower Mississippi Valley. As I mentioned, that's going to be making national news headlines through the weekend. Also, at the same time, we have light to moderate snow happening for portions of the Northern Rockies and the Northern Plains, and those wildfires still not out, still raging in portions of Southern California. Awful footage coming out of California with those wildfires. The good news in the forecast is that today those Santa Ana winds died down a bit, so at least it will be not as windy, which will hopefully help the first responders and the firefighters contain the spread of some of those just devastating wildfires happening out in Southern California. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister trivia question for the day. Have you ever looked at one of these under a microscope? How many sides does a snowflake have? Yes, they all have the same number. Do you think it is A, 6, B, 8, C, 9, or D, 12? Well, every single snowflake has 6 sides. It always has 6 sides because there is water molecules in ice crystals. They naturally arrange themselves in a hexagon structure, meaning that each snowflake has 6 points or arms always. However, they all do appear a little bit different. While snowflakes always have 6 sides, their intricate details and the branch patterns differ greatly depending on the atmospheric conditions that they formed under. So if it's dry air, if it is moist air, because of the slight variations in their journey through the air, no 2 snowflakes are ever exactly the same. They are fascinating. That was one of my favorite things to do as a kid. Watch, those big, huge snowflakes fall and then look at the pattern that they create. Gorgeous. But congrats if A6 was your answer. Here's another winter trivia question. Who wrote the play A Winter's Tale? Do you think that was A, Ernest Hemingway, B, William Shakespeare, C, Oscar Wilde, or D, Arthur Miller? You can let me know your guess. That's at aroundtheozarks.com. Thank you so much for listening this morning to Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather. I sure appreciate you starting out your day here, even though I didn't have great news with the additional winter weather in the forecast. Again, 1 to 3 inches of snowfall expected in Springfield starting this evening, lasting through midday on Friday. You could have some tricky travel tomorrow morning, thanks to our sponsors, John's Heating and Air and Command Family Medicine. You can also check out the website for an up-to-the-minute forecast all day long. That's aroundtheozarks.com.